I was surprised when I watched the trailer, because when I watch a horror movie trailer, I thought, yep, there'll be a lot of monsters, there'll be loud noises. But this one, they did it to the beat. And I was like, oh, this is something different. It's very refreshing. And, it's always good to see an Australian director do well in Hollywood. Exactly. And obviously they know how to attract audience with their massive following. And we were discussing this because one of the hottest Vietnamese directors at the moment, he started out as an MC. He racked up a big following, and now he's directing movies, and all his fans just go and flood the cinema just to watch his work. And I think this might become the new formula for directors now. You don't...
Well, I think it's even for acting as well. I saw an article come out the other day. I can't remember who it was, where they're like, they ask you about your following now. So they want people that have got ton of people like following on Insta. They probably want like huge TikTok, because they want them. That's how they know how they bring people in. It used to just be like, they're just a successful actor. Now it's like, no, you've got to have all this following behind you now as well. It's not so simple anymore.
And you will see that trend happening with well-known actors as well. Before that, them from the movies, but now you see them more active on social media.
Exactly.
On X, on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever. Ryan Reynolds is a good example of this. He's everywhere, right? So now, even though his movies might not be good or his acting might not be good, but he just got a huge following.
Because I think
visibility as well.
he's done that for a long time. Even he's maybe like the archetype of it, right? Like getting popular, doing like memes or even selling funny things, and it's just like it builds it up a bit, and then people are like, he's like a lovable, likable guy, and then when they watch these films, they enjoy him more because like, I love Ryan Reynolds, and it's like, look at him go.
It's like influencer culture is like basically inculcating into all aspects of life.
Every
now.
aspect of life.
Yes, exactly. When it comes to selling products.
Yep.
Politics.
Already.
Policies, selling products, policies, anything you name it.
But what do you think about this trend, Jigme? Because, you grow up watching a lot of movies with actors and actresses, and you see them quite limited, actually. And you have this kind of expectation about them. Oh, these are just like the deities of the cinema world. You're not in the same world. But now with the influencing trend, like you have access to them more than ever. You know what they're eating for dinner.
Everybody knows what they're doing.
Exactly. So what do you think about this trend?
The tabloids has kind of died a bit. Like that was the whole thing. It's like, read the magazine. But now you don't need it. Now you don't need that.
That is true. I feel like with the entire movie watching experience as a viewer, I guess like putting actors on the pedestal actually does help with, with you wanting to watch the movie a lot. But with influencer culture, yes, as you said, we see them, we know what they're having for lunch, dinner, whatever, what they do, what their dogs' names are. It does help humanize them as well. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, I would say. It's beneficial in some sense, but also at the same time, do you really need to know what Ryan Reynolds' favorite food to eat is? I don't know.
Because it is weird, because then you pry into every aspect of their life.
Exactly.
And all the bad stuff that comes out. Because I think... Not that Brad Pitt was a part of it, but his divorce with...
that was still going on, I think. It just
finished. It just finished not long ago, the end of last year. But Brad Pitt's not a good dude.
Yeah, I know.
And that's like the aspect of like... I was never a huge Brad Pitt fan, but if I see him in a movie, I'm like, I really don't want to watch that because he's assaulted his wife.
Yes,
I don't want to like support that kind of person. Because I think of a bigger guy, I don't know if Ezra Miller.
He was like
the king of that. He was like the king of that, but he still got a movie and it still came out. So it doesn't matter. Like it's sad.
It is very sad, but it's again the debate of like separating the art from the artist.
Well, we think about like Kanye West, who literally tried to sell.
J.K. Rowling as well.
Yeah, I like Kanye West's music, but I've even stopped listening to his music now because he's literally just insane. And did you see when he was trying to sell the swastika as a T-shirt?
Yes, that was the only T-shirt available on his website.
Yeah, and I was like, I gave up like a long time ago with him, but now it's I'm like, oh my god,
new level.
How could you say you're a fan of Kanye West without thinking like, am I a Nazi for liking this guy?
Yeah, it's just like I think this sphere has not been really talked about a lot, I guess.
No, because it is a weird thing to deal with, right? Because it has, everyone can react, and that's the other side of it. Everyone can react instantly from something bad happening and be instantly like being like, and even attacking other people for liking them. They maybe not know the details.
Yes.
Be like, oh, listen to this new song. It's like, oh, that's a Kanye West song. He's done this, this, and this, and this. And you're like, oh, shit. Like, it can be harder to like and follow someone because someone's going to just attack you to be like, you know, they left a biscuit on the, on the thing. You can't like that guy anymore. And it's like, oh, really? Shit.
But I like his music.
Yeah,
though,
I like
you
his
know?
music though.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like it's always good to have like influencers and like actors who have like really big following to actually be genuinely good human beings as well. Because I feel like they do have the responsibility.
I think that's hard to find though.
Yes, it's
Because
very
that's why
hard
it's hard
to find.
sometimes. Like you said, people put them on a pedestal. I think it's
Yes.
sometimes good to just step back from it and not glorify them so much.
Exactly.
Because then when they go through bad shit, it's a bit more understands. Like, oh, they're a person that maybe made a mistake, but it's like, how could they do this? Like, there's some things that are like, okay, but obviously there's lines. But that's why it's interesting, especially how it affects films. Because that's what I mean. That's if you're like a producer / director looking for an actor, and it's like, oh shit, they've got like 100 million people following them. Okay, they're in, and it's not for their like acting ability. It's a bit sad.
Correct.
Exactly.
And
That's true.
I was thinking about that when you said that it's a double-edged sword because, you know, one of the biggest movies that came out in Vietnam, for example, it doesn't have any big names. So the director was one of the most influential people in Vietnam. He's got like millions and millions of followers. And for this movie, he specifically selected people with a lot of followings.
Yeah.
So the two main actresses of the movie were the winners of the beauty pageants in Vietnam. So they got a lot of following already.
Interesting. Okay.
And you know the main actor, he's a model. You know, he's very good looking. So and then he's got so many cameos from the other people who had like other TV shows or massive following. So Tim was saying like, you know, they are selected for their following, not for their acting.
Exactly.
But the thing is, for me personally, it affects the story and it affects the movie a lot because then they don't have the acting capability to carry out the story. Yeah. Or you have to simplify the story to adapt to the acting as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means that you're pretty much insulting the audience. Like this story is so simple. You know, like you pretty much the audience go to the cinema now just to see their favorite idols.
Yeah, that is true.
Doing some weird stuff on screen.
It really does affect viewership, especially with theater culture as well nowadays. People really don't want to go and watch movies because, to be honest, everyone's like, oh yeah, like, you know, the movies don't hit as it used to before. They're like, it's not as good as how it was before. And I feel like probably that's also a reason why it's not. Yeah.
It's like part of it, but it's also like old man yells at sky. Like there is good stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's just being willing to go watch it, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
I
true.
think that's the other aspect of people like the big blockbuster, and I think that's what people get stuck in. And then they're the blockbusters, the one that get coped in the most because they want the most people to watch them.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, why have they got all these people? And it's like, well, you know why they've got them all. But
That is the end of the episode. Let us know what you think about the conversation in the comment section below and smash that like button.
ring the bell and subscribe as well, and you better be back next time.
And we will see you in the next episode.